Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Hold the Ball, HTB. Hope all is well. Thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it very much. But before I get into the formalities and talk about the Broncos who host us over at Suncorp Stadium, I just want to send my well wishes to the people in New South Wales who are obviously going through a lot at the moment, as well as an extension to the people of New Zealand, Aotearoa. I send my well wishes there as well. With the lockdown and everything that's happening, it's just chaos. It's chaotic. It's quite sad. I've sort of had to personally sort of deal with a very close personal issue regarding family, and obviously due to the COVID stuff, unfortunately, just couldn't fly there. But that's life, isn't it? But yeah, look, not to go down that track, but again, my well wishes to keep safe. But look, without further ado, pass me the ball. All right, so as you guys know, it is the Broncos who host the New Zealand Warriors over at Suncorp Stadium. That is the last game as well. So a lot can happen then. But what I'm going to do is read the team list, as well as sort of give you guys my thoughts, improvements, key players, predictions, so on and so forth. And as I like to do as well, leave you guys with a quote, a bit of food for thought as we prepare and suit up for this opponent here. But without further ado, let's get into it. So the fullback is Reece Walsh. The wingers are Dylan Watene-Selesnik and Marcelo Montoya. And just a note on that as well, Dylan Watene-Selesnik plays his 150th game this Sunday, which is good and a massive achievement. The centres we have Ahiku as well as Pompey, and the halves are Chanel Harris-Tavita as well as Sean O'Sullivan. And to the props, we have Adam Fanor-Blake as well as James Darnell-Brown. And the hooking position goes to Wade Egan. Aiken and Curran are our second rows, and Sirinen is the lock. The bench is Nikorima, R4, Katoa as well as Tavanga. And the reserves we have Gossi, Fry, Murchie and Townsend. All right, so that is the squad there. But looking at the squad, we have Walsh there, which is good. Obviously, again, playing last week, he played well, in my opinion. And I'm going to be looking for him to look out for space here. We've got the wings again, as mentioned. Dylan Watene-Selesnik as well as Montoya should be very good players there to actually run and hit the ball up. And I think they'll do well, particularly, sort of playing against, to be fair, much taller forwards, which will probably require a bit more speed as well as bravado on our end. And obviously mentioning the wingers, they've got Hiku as well as Pompey for the centre positioning. I am not too sure how this will go, particularly with Pompey. I don't think he has been performing up to par, the best I know he can. Particularly, as we sort of match up against Farnworth as well as Cobbo there. So we'll have to see how that works out there. Look for Hiku again to bring in that experience for us. And look, I do expect a bit of a big game from him too. I just feel like this is the game for him to do something like this, big game. And then the halves, obviously Chanel Harris-Tavita as well as O'Sullivan. Looking at them to gel, what are they going to do? What are they going to produce? Is it going to be sort of what we saw last week? Hopefully, if so, that'll be great. Again, more focus on that kicking game. Again, Broncos are not the most disciplined side, generally speaking, though they're hungry. Warriors should be able to tame that with some good halves sort of combination going there. And to be fair, against this opposition here, against the Broncos, our halves seem to be the better halves, I think anyway. So that does work in our advantage. Now, again, whether we use that or not, it's a completely different story. But that's sort of those are sort of the optics at the moment anyway. And then mentioning them, you bringing down to the props, and obviously Adam Fanor-Blake as well as JTB. Now looking for them to run up, give us some good yardage. Obviously with Adam Fanor-Blake, there's no question he'll give us at least 100 plus meters. 150 plus is what I'm sort of looking at. James Darnell-Brown, for him to complement Adam Fanor-Blake, I think needs to be more on the defensive end. Unfortunately, for some reason, he can't get the meters running going there. But in saying that, defensively offers a lot, and he's got a good motor. So hoping he can complement there. Wade Egan will be adjusting our defense, and he'll be reading that well. He does really well usually on the defensive end, and it's going to be good having some experience there again. Looking to see sort of what combination he can bring with O'Sullivan and Chanel Harris-Tavita, as well as Reece Walsh. So that'll be important there, and should be a good task. He versus Danny Levi, who's not the most experienced sort of player, but in saying that, has still had a few games under his belt and has been playing good for the Broncos as of late. I do believe he's chasing a contract too, so those are sort of things that play there. And then for the second rows, I think we have it over the opposing second rows in Glenn and Ricky. So Aitken as well as Curran. Look, I just look to them to bring out the defensive work ethic that they have, as well as the offensive work ethic. I'm looking for Curran to try and pop up around there and sort of be there where the ball is. That's sort of my thoughts there. And Aitken as well, again, as you guys know, I've got high praise for him. Well, both of them really. So Aitken, the defensive end, as well the offensive end. With Suriname, we haven't seen him too much at lock. I think he played there against the Sharks, right? I think he may have, I'm not sure, pulled up with a late injury, I think last week. But look, he's back there at that position at lock, just for him to just do what he does, fill in the gaps, do the hard stuff. Hopefully hold the ball. I guess it goes for all of them, but that'll be good to see. And look, as we go into the bench, we've got Nikorima, who I'm assuming will come in for those small minutes, again to fill in when needed for Egan potentially, and or Suriname, depending where he goes. But I think he'll be added there in that capacity. Our thought as well is Gator, obviously working with prop and second row respectively. I still believe though that Gator works a lot better starting as a second row as opposed to coming off the bench. However, I think that's just something he's going to have to learn to work with, and I think he will. I think he definitely will, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. And last but not least, we have Jazz Tavanga as well, and again, I've been very impressed with him as of late. He's cleaned up his act, bar the defensive effort, along with the captain Adam Fanor-Blake against Ryan James. But I mean, look, all sort of, I guess, really specific sort of analysis aside, I think he's actually played for us very well. His numbers definitely don't lie, and on a week-to-week basis, he's actually on the more consistent side. Even if he has a quiet game, it's not like he doesn't implement things. So that's big raps on him. But those are that's just a general gist of the team and sort of how I expect us to play against the Broncos. Now, sort of thoughts on it overall, as mentioned. Look, the Broncos are not the best team, but as touched on earlier, I think they're a team that is collectively hungry. They want to win. They're at Suncorp Stadium, and to be fair with them, if there was any greater chance, it would be now. I don't like to say that, but that is the reality here. The Warriors, obviously, we haven't been traveling too far, prior to the last 3 wins. So Broncos will be looking at that and trying to expose us there. Obviously, again, the defense is the only way we close this. That is my actual thoughts. That's how we close this. They're going to be ready. Again, you've got some players there that I'll mention later on, but overall, it's a pretty stacked squad. Look for Payne Haas as well to do some damage. But for the Warriors, the improvements, defense, and holding that ball and being patient when we're actually near the opposition try line, instead of trying to rush it, instead of trying to look for the first, second, third offload. How about you actually sort of hold the ball, compose, think, analyze, and sort of just go from there, as opposed to trying to do ad-lib near the try line. It doesn't work for us usually. We normally either drop the ball, we pass it forward, it goes into touch. So a bit of patience there would be great. And again, as mentioned before, defense. Broncos don't have a soft forward pack. They're actually quite big and strong. And like I said, we've got to remember they're going to be hungry. They really want this win. It's all about playing for pride there. For us, well, hey, if we win all 3 of our games, mathematically there's that chance there. So we'll see what happens. Some of the key players to look out for. So I'll go over the Warriors first. Reece Walsh, as mentioned before, he's going to be needed to use that agile, that gutso that he has. Especially him and Chanel Harris-Tavita working off each other. I think that might be a very important sort of a dynamic there to watch. And as he versus opposition, and Desi knew, it'll be important for Walsh to get the upper hand. And just a little side note, he's versing his old team, right? Even though he was under development contract, that is still his old team, so that'll be interesting. Another person to have is Hiku, as mentioned, as well as Dallin, Watson, and Slesnak. So again, those guys there collectively need to be at their best, and defensively, Dallin, Watson, and Slesnak will have to be, especially as he's the one that's going to be opposing Coates. So that'll be interesting, the high ball challenge. All right, so we've got Shinahurst Tavita give us that kicking game, that defensive game. But again, just a good, clear sort of a lead, especially him and O'Sullivan. Adam Whanau Blake is another one I've penciled in. And Aiken and Curran. And again, with those three, I don't think I need to explain why they're sort of penciled in. We just know what they can bring, what they need to do, and that if they bring it, there's a very high chance we win. So for the Broncos, though, the key players I have is Neil, Coates, as well as Haas and Ricky. Jordan Payne Haas is one of my favorite players. Full stop, end of story. He is such a unit. He's a machine. He would be so good if he played for the Warriors. He's a great player. I can't speak highly of him actually enough. Offers so much high motor, is the most consistent player in such a bad team, has always been for years, should be a captain of that team. But look for him to charge up. And like I said, for us personally, and I guess for us personally, we need to stop this. This can get ugly soon if we don't stop it. So we just got to sort of keep an eye on it. The Broncos will definitely be hungry and ready. I know that for sure. All right, so the first try score. So if I was to pick one try score from each team, Warriors first, I think I'll put down a Smoky. It'll be Adam Whanau Blake, actually. And then for the Broncos, I'm going to put down Coates as a first try scorer. And my overall prediction, right, this is where it matters the most. Look, as I said before, the Warriors looking down the potential barrel of 4 wins in a row. The Broncos, hey, they actually came away very unlucky, I think, anyway, in that loss against the Roosters by 1.2. Ideally, I would like to see the Warriors win, right? So I'm going to be heading that way. I'm going to be predicting it that way. So for me personally, I want to go Warriors to win. I reckon it might be a tight game. 18 points to 19. That's it. So we win by a drop goal. That's what I'm assuming. There you go, guys. Or if we win, it's by 6 or less. So 18 points to 19. Warriors win by drop goal is what I'm assuming. But to conclude, like I said, we can't take the Broncos lightly. It's probably been the general theme this whole time I've been recording. It's about making sure that we close down their players. Again, they've got some halves who can do things. You've got Milford too, who wants to prove himself right. Obviously, gone for a bumpy journey. Probably a nice little, last couple of matches here. Nice few little hoorahs, right? Hopefully not against us. You've got Kelly as well. Again, Jordan Ricky, Haas. You got Alex Glenn, Oates, Coates, Farnworth. Again, there's just so many players we've got to watch out for that can hurt us. It's about bringing our A game. It's about bringing our defensive game. It's about being really, the offense is there, but near the try line, we just need to hold ourselves, hold the ball. We need to relax, be patient. I think those are sort of like my general conclusions. And again, it's just great to know that the Warriors, who were just absolutely nowhere to be found going back a month or two ago, really, have found some new pizzazz in their game. And it's been very positive to see it. I'm very happy to see that overall. It does also at the same time mean that there's a lot of pressure on us, I think, particularly when the narrative is that we can still be in the 8. Look, to be fair, the Warriors, even if they don't make the 8, I still think we need to win the majority of the games, ahead. Not that I'm looking too far ahead, that is. But it starts with the Broncos. They're a tough team. They're at home. It's time for Warriors to show the world what's up. You know what I mean? So as you guys know, I like to sort of finish off with a quote. So this is by Bobby Unser, and it says, "Success is where preparation and opportunity meet." And I guess for the Warriors, contextually, this is where we are, right? This is the part where preparation and opportunity meet because of what we've done. All we can do is win games. That's it. There's nothing else we can do. And I think it's probably time that we sort of back the boys here. And obviously, as you know, these are mantra I stick by. It's through thick and thin. But I think things are going well here. So in saying that, I back the boys and looking forward to this game. And I won't be watching my usual abode, but I'll be watching the game. And I may, I may go live afterwards. we'll see what happens there. But again, guys, you're great for making it this far. I appreciate it very much. Again, be well, be safe. Thanks again for watching, and I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, in saying that, look, if the Warriors want to win, what they're to do, hold the ball. See you guys next time.